Welcome back to my podcast, We Feel and Heal. Nice that you are here again. Today we're going to talk about survival mode patterns like overworking, people pleasing, and where it is coming from. Here we go. For most of the women I know, and including myself, survival mode looks like it is masked, okay, in not being good and receiving, overgiving, being a people pleaser. And if you are a people pleaser, then you probably say, yeah, I'm such a kind person. I say to everything yes, being always the strong one, overworking to feel worthy. And this one is hitting for me as well because like the last couple of weeks I was reflecting on myself, on my own behavior, like just doing, being successful, even though I got fired and then I'm building my business. I wanted to make the content. I love content creation, but I also love like being the business in the whole, like content creation part, coaching part, be a sound healing part. And then I'm like, yeah, you need to do this, you need to do this, and you need to do this. Then I realized, wait a minute, I'm overworking myself so much because of I want to feel worthy, and it gives me like kind of a sense to feel worthy, right? But you don't need to overwork to feel worthy. It is an internal feeling that you create, and most of the time society or our parents told us like, when you do this, I love you more. When you do this, you're gonna be successful. When you do this, you are worthy of getting the job. Or also in the whole job application process, I realized like you always need to prove yourself. Don't get me wrong, like I know there are a lot of people, they just want to hire someone who's qualified and you need to do the job process and everything, but most of the time you need to prove yourself. And most of the time when you say, hey, you do not get the job, you do not feel worthy. Like when I got fired first time, to be honest, I was like, no, this has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with my own worth. This is their problem, all right? And last time I got fired, I was like, oh man, should I have to do this? Should I, could I, who would I? No. You are worthy of it now, even if you do not have a job. If you have a job, if you're still figuring out what you want to do in life, if you are single, if you are with a partner, like you are worthy of everything. And this is a feeling you can create. No one else can create this feeling for you. It is an internal feeling. It is a feeling that you are worthy to live on this planet. And it goes back, for most of the people, back to childhood and not feeling worthy because you got maybe compared. I got compared a lot when I was a kid. For example, in school, yeah, I got like a bad, I don't know, grade. Yeah, it was not a good grade or something. And like, yeah, what does your friend have? Like, why is she better than you? And then this feeling then integrates in you, but because you get all the time compared, and you then think, or your body and your nervous system will save it as following: I need to prove myself, then I am worthy. If I do not prove myself, I'm not worthy of receiving the attention, the love, everything. This is something that makes you, or that brings you into survival mode, and that's why it's also very important to regulate yourself even things are happening, right? Because all the time challenges are happening to us. Of course, they uplift us, we can grow from it, but what are you doing when you are coming into this challenges? Like, how are you holding yourself? Are you breathing, or do you put like cold water on your wrist? Are you meditating? Like, you need something where you bring yourself down, not like you need someone to bring you down. Of course, that's nice to have, right? But when you are in a situation where no one is available, because we are honest, everyone is living their life and it's how it is, How are you bringing yourself down. What are you doing to work with your nervous system? Also with the people pleasing. For all the people pleasers out there, you do not have to say every time yes if you say you want to say no, because let's be honest on that. When you are a people pleaser and you want to say no, but you say all the time yes to someone, and your capacity is full, like your glass is full, it is drained, your glass, you will not make something good energetically for yourself and even for the other person, because it's not coming from your heart. It comes from a condition that you learned over the years to please everyone, because then when you please everyone, maybe you get the love, the attention, being a part of a group or whatever it is. Glow up, the most successful thing you can have is a regulated nervous system. Because these days are wild, and even though for me I'm still working with my nervous system, because I was seeing myself and reflecting on it so much in my masculine energy. Don't get me wrong, we have the feminine, we have the masculine energies, no matter which gender you feel belonging to do so much. And even though when I did the things, I rested, I was like, oh, what can I do now? Even though I was resting, I was like, I need to do this. I need to do this. Overdoing. We think when we are overperforming, overdoing, then the success is coming easier. So this is what I was thinking. Still maybe are thinking, Haluni, And it's not like that. It is not like that. It is fine to be disciplined. It is fine to do your own tasks. Because if you want to build something, sure, you need to go into action, but you need to see also, if you want to do something, if you go from one wheel, from one rat race to another, is it that what you want? Because I do not want that. I'm aware that no one is doing the things for me. Of course, it is my dream and I'm willing to do it. But still, your nervous system needs to be regulated, because then you're coming to the survival mode all the time. To say that trauma makes it also not safe in your nervous system. Like the hyper independence you created comes from trauma. When you felt like love is not stable as a child, when you felt like, or you've learned that you just only can rely on yourself. When you show your feelings, showed that you are vulnerable, maybe that doesn't felt safe for you because someone laughed at you or something. And when you grow up very fast emotionally, like when you was responsible for the emotions of your caretakers, this makes your nervous system also brings you into survival mode. These are things you've learned as a child. And I think now is the time where we all have all the access, we have the wisdom, we know everything and we can work towards it. And I think a lot of people know a lot, like they have all the wisdom, they know all in theory, but what are you doing? What are you doing in your practical life when you know shit? This is triggering me so much. What can I now do in this situation? What is bringing me into my peace and my resonance? Is it maybe meditation? Is it maybe a walk? For everyone, it looks different. But what is the exact thing that when you got triggered, what are you doing in this situation? It is your responsibility somehow, and I mean it in a really kind way, to bring yourself down again. So if you really want to have a safe nervous system, a regulated nervous system, it is soft. It is also having really boundaries for yourself when you say, hey, this is good for me, this is not good for me, and I communicate it well. I mean, a lot of things it is communication, right? We need to talk to people we like, because most of the time there is where everything started. But this is another topic. So how to regulate your nervous system, also communicating clear boundaries, receiving, not just giving, also receiving, taking it in balance. And I'm telling you this because, 1.5 years I got fired and break up and fired, and I was collapsing, I was spiraling, I felt not worthy, I was asking all the purpose I have. Even though I knew my purpose, I still was asking myself, what am I doing here? And then now I got fired, and I feel like I'm free. I'm free because I'm not tied to a title or to someone's opinion. Sure, I need to pay my bills, and this is like a tricky one now, but I know I am worthy of it, and I know what I am capable of it. Sure, there is a doubt. I was like, yeah, again, but then I was like, you know what? Thank you. So this is where I see myself, where the transformation really took place, that I was not now like collapsing and re-asking everything, and like, I'm just say, hey, you know what? Rejection is protection. I know my path, and sooner or later I'm gonna be successful because I feel it so much in my heart. And trusting in God, trusting in the universe, and this gives me so much strength. Even though I have also days I'm like, oh man, why is it taking so long? But that's why I wanted to talk today with you. And if you think someone should listen to this podcast or watch this podcast, then please feel free to send the link. Follow me. Make sure to follow me on my socials. And if you want that we are discussing other topics, please feel free to contact me. And I see you in the next one. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye.